This is an incredible ad. I don't even, the machinations going on here are just sort of, they're Baroque, actually. So Evan Jenkins, I actually think we played something from him yesterday because he had another Hillary Clinton ad. He's the guy who looks like he has glass eyes. He ran an ad. He's in a tight Senate primary in West Virginia. And he ran an ad against his rival, Attorney General Patrick Morrisey. And what he literally does in this ad is they actually photoshopped a picture from David Morrisey, his opponent, shaking hands with Donald Trump. And they changed it to look like he's shaking hands with Hillary Clinton. So this is basically the best Republican ad ever made.
But here's one that
you just sorry, and I should say he's on Fox News, and even Fox News is giving him a little bit of like a, dude, like, we're all completely insane, mentally ill propagandists. But I mean, whoa.
But here's one that you just ran. Let's play about 10 seconds of this.
Pat Morrisey betrayed Donald Trump, scheming against Trump's campaign in West Virginia, denying our choice for president. Morrisey refused to support Trump over Hillary.
All right, so you know that Patrick Morrisey is fighting back. He doesn't like that ad at all. And here's what he said. He said that your campaign photoshopped his photo with Donald Trump and substituted it with Hillary, who he says he's always strongly opposed. And he wants to know if you'll be called out for lying and dishonesty, and where's the accountability? What do you say about that ad, Congressman Jenkins?
Well, Patrick Morrisey needs to be honest with the people of West Virginia.
I know what you are, but what am I?
That's not even I know you are, but that's like pre I know you are, but what am I?
You do.
That's like you just
no,
like
you.
It's like that's like you just stepped in and I'm with your wife and you just look up and you're like, you need to stop talking to my wife.
Here's the image.
Here's the image. This is an incredible Photoshop.
Wow.
Also, the irony of talking about honesty and integrity in reference to a photo of you with Donald Trump is like,
right.
Ooh.
It's just a mama ghoul. It's just like, this next ad, like the ads a couple years from now, you're gonna be like, he claims he was involved in the U-Haul insurance scheme, but he wasn't. And I just think that as supporters of Donald Trump, we need to be really honest about what parts of the extended criminal scam network people were involved in. Because as Republican voters, we have a right to transparency and honesty.
Yeah, and look at that guy. He doesn't give a shit because he knows the damage is already done.
That's probably true, actually. Although presumably these people are watching Fox.
I don't know if you guys saw that in the lower third Chiron, but they're having the West Virginia Senate debate tonight, which is also going to feature Blankenship, which is like, this is just like more potent than that state's best moonshine.
Yeah. West Virginia, which is treated like an internal colony by the United States and ruthlessly exploited for its resources, has a Republican Senate primary, and both parties there are totally compromised and owned by coal, no doubt. But just by point of example, the Senate primary has the Photoshop glass eye guy, the far-right attorney general who's like, no, that was me with Trump. How dare you? You have no integrity, sir. I would never touch Hillary Clinton's hand. I would shake hands with Donald Trump because that has integrity. And then the third candidate is a convicted felon who's running from Nevada, I believe, because he can't be in the state because he was responsible for coal miner deaths because of safety lapses at a coal mine that he ran as part of a larger company. And recently, a coal miner whose son died said something effective, like, I'm paraphrasing, but like, it feels really bad to see that guy on television running for Senate when he was responsible for killing my son. Wow. So basically, the point is that West Virginia Republicans have three great choices. It's stiff competition.
Do we know what kind of Democrats are running?
Well, Joe Manchin's running for re-election, and then he's got a challenger who I'm sure I would vote for, but I don't. I think in reality, Manchin will probably win re-election. And he's the only Democrat in West Virginia who could do anything on a state level at the end this way. And Joe Manchin is a guy who's so smarmy that if you look up his interview at Jank, where he keeps calling Jank Janks, which I loved, he's like, well, I'll tell you, Janks, I'll tell you this. I don't know any. People could have given me $30,000 and stuffed it right in my pocket, and I'd be wearing a blindfold, so I didn't know, so I didn't do them a favor in Washington, Janks. And he's got doing all this shit. And then when they get to like why he approved arms sales to Saudi Arabia, while Saudi Arabia is committing daily war crimes in Yemen, he literally was like, well, I'll tell you what, Janks, I don't consider it collateral damage. That's a fake word. They're killing civilians over there. But I just thought that with U.S. training, it might actually help solve that problem. He literally went that talking about high level, not like Photoshop, but you got to be honest. That's low level shit. If you could take why was I one of 5 Democrats to vote for arms sales to Saudi Arabia while they're bombing hospitals in Yemen on a daily basis because I wanted higher level training for them so they did less of that. That is the type of balls that guy must just be in the he just must be so spread out.
That's some galaxy brain shit.
That is fucking dope. I was like, wow, this is almost like 1980s like sitcom smarm coming off of that dude.
I mean, I guess what I was getting at with my question was, especially around the teacher strikes, you saw a lot of finger wagging from certain centrist liberals saying like, oh, these people are in red states. They get what they deserve. Why are they voting against their own interests? It's their fault. But like, that's implying that they have a chance to vote for their interests, which is not a given.
That's also implying that people, well, he will occasionally defend safety net stuff, which is how he's part of how he stayed there. But at the same time, it's also claiming that people are static and they're not. And it's also claiming like so many things misalign. One of the leaders in West Virginia on that strike was a Democrat who endorsed Trump. Like, sorry, politics is usually a lot more complicated than your Twitter feed.
Yeah, it goes a lot of other places that people don't understand.
Yeah, exactly.